Hello, everyone. Pat McQuaid here at the Pat McQuaid Podcast. Welcome back. I'm very excited to introduce my next guest, Brian Beaudoin, a comedian based in Rhode Island that claims to be the only comic bigger than his state. Brian's a lovable guy who was a host for a recent show that I did at the Comedy Connection in East Providence. But pull up a chair and let's get going. You see that red light up there?
I do.
That means we are live,
That means
Brian.
I'm popping peas.
Oh, yeah. Dude, so thank you so much for taking the time to do this. I'm super pumped that you came in.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Well, I am your student, and so I felt like, why would I not want to interview my teacher?
Yeah.
The master, so to speak. But, dude, tell me. How long you been in comedy now?
I started comedy in 1999. It was like 99, 2000. That was like my first show.
How old were you?
I was like 18.
Okay.
Yeah, I was still in high school.
Yeah.
And then I stopped in 2004. Mm-hmm. And then I started back up again in 07.
Yeah.
So it's like, I guess 25 years, but there's like a gap.
Yeah.
Like a 3-year gap. Mm-hmm. And then I feel like, I feel like I should add the gap, but nobody cares.
Right.
Nobody cares. I've been doing this over 20 years.
Right.
Yeah, so that's what I say.
What were you doing during the gap?
Drugs and alcohol.
Naturally.
A lot of it.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And were you always living in Rhode Island?
Yeah, grew up here, lived here.
Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Coventry.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so in like the sticks or
No, I was city side, town side. I
so
was the east side.
Coventry, bring me into the language of Coventry.
Yeah,
for
so
a second.
Coventry is just this gigantic town. And it's funny because you have behind you is a map of Rhode Island, and I was looking. There's no Coventry on that map.
No.
And
Exeter?
there's Exeter, which is that's all woods and 5 people, and they're all cousins. And then you got up top where it should say Coventry, you got the Greenwiches, the east and the west.
East and the west.
Oh, there is Coventry right above that.
Where are you seeing that?
Up higher.
Well,
I didn't know Coventry was that high on a map.
I didn't think Coventry went that high.
You know what? That's a terrible map.
I got the wrong map.
You got the wrong map. That was what year?
Coventry is south, right?
Coventry is like if you folded Rhode Island in half.
Right.
Coventry is in the middle of that, or so I thought until I saw that map.
Yeah. Same here. That's
Yeah.
so bizarre. Dude, this is why I had you in here. Because I
Yeah.
wanted you to evaluate my
I
map.
figure when you hang up a map, you got to have a validator, and that would be me.
How weird is that?
Yeah, so I grew up in Coventry.
Yeah. And you were city side.
Yeah, so Coventry's a huge town.
Yeah.
And there's out of the huge town, there's only like half of it is an actual town.
Yeah.
And then the other half is just woods and farms and ghosts. And that's that's where you grew up. And so you either grew up in the sticks of Coventry where all they have cows and the ghosts.
Yeah.
Or you grew up in the town side where I live, where they have a Taco Bell and a Burger King.
Yeah. And so is that where you got to know the other guy that was in my class, the Comedy Connection class?
Oh, yeah,
Brian
yeah.
Anderson. How could I forget that name? Part of his bit with Popeye.
B.A.
And B.A., So you get out of high school in Coventry, and while you're in high school, you're doing like open mics and whatnot?
Yeah, not like every night. It's not like I was pursuing a comedy career at 18.
Right. Yeah.
I was just like, at one point I thought I was. I'm like, I'm just doing these open mics maybe like once, twice a month. And then one day one of my teachers said, like, what are you going to do when you graduate here? I'm like, I'm going to go to the open mic night and win the contest every week. And they're like, what? I'm like, they give out $100 every week. Mm-hmm. And I'll use that to live.
And was the Comedy Connection always like the epicenter for Rhode Island comedy at that point?
Yes and no.
Yeah.
It always was, just because of the just of what it was, right? Like it's the Comedy Connection, but And like when you see that, and they have the big giant inflatable duck. Remember the big inflatable duck that was on the roof?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's like that. It's like everybody knew of the connection, but when I had started, when I like probably the first half of my career, the connection was always like really hit or miss in terms of like trying to get in there as a comic and like what is this place? It was run out of Boston and it was papered, so like they would give out a lot of tickets, and so it was always just kind of like this thing that was there. Yeah. But it was all the other places that I was performing at. So
right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But now that Korean Dave owns it.
Korean Dave is his name?
Korean Dave, yeah. Yeah. Well, it's Corey and Dave. There's two owners. Yeah. Corey and Dave. Gotcha. And for years, all the comics are like, I want to thank Corey and Dave for the spot at the club. And in my head, I always heard Korean Dave. So on my podcast, the Wicked Funny Podcast, and Brian's World, we have a whole character of Korean Dave, local comedy club owner. And he just rips apart everything.
Yeah. So you're in high school, you're doing the occasional open mic, and then when did you start, paying the bills with comedy, and when did, you kind of fully throw yourself into it? And was there a time where you were like working at a call center for 5 hours a day and then going to open mics?
Oh yeah, no, I still have a day job because comedy doesn't have benbenefits, Right. So it's like I still.
Oh, you mean you need medical insurance?
Yeah, you need insurance and stuff, and so it's like I was always working and doing comedy at the same time my whole life. I'd say the shift happened to where I could say like, oh, comedy's where I make the money, and then this other job is just that's for benefits now.
Right.
Like that was maybe 7-8 years ago. Yeah. It took a while. It's not like this thing happens overnight.
Right.
But it's funny because it does happen overnight now. Right. With the internet. So it's like I'm just waiting on my time. I'm waiting for me to get famous overnight.
How do comedians who went through the grind, like from pre-internet, how do those comedians view the overnight TikTok successes where, like, do they feel like it wasn't earned, or is it whatever?
It's a double-edged sword. I think it's a double-edged sword. Yeah. It sucks because it's like I've poured my heart and soul into this thing, and it's like every couple years it changed. So when I started, I was burning VHSs of my sets. Yeah. Right? Like the early 2000s, it was like a VHS that I would send out. Then it turned into DVDs. Then it turned into like hard drives. You get like these little mini hard drives and you put that in an envelope and send it to the booker. Right. Then it was like YouTube, and now it's like TikTok, and it's like, when will it end? And so like that's the hardest thing for me is keeping up with how content goes out. Right. It's so hard.
Have you TikToked your material at all?
I've started to put a lot more stuff out and be less critical of myself. Yeah. And just put out the stuff. Mm-hmm. But so I'm hoping one day, like I wake up and the next thing you know, it's like you have 1,000 followers and then 10,000 views, and it's like, what did I do? What just happened? Right. Yeah. But the double-edged sword is these TikTokers that are coming in, and this is what I explained to other comics that get frustrated about. It's like you can hate it all day, right? But they're selling out the club with their little dumb little riffy things that they do, and it's like, they might not have went through the grind, and they, were on a rocket ship that propelled them to this point. Right. But if you could sell those tickets, you'd be at the club. Right.
Like the marketplace just got disrupted. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So it's good that, these TikTokers can come in and stimulate the club on a night that they wouldn't normally be open. Because I booked the Comedy Connection. I'm the talent coordinator there. I do everything I book everybody except for the headliners. That's the owner. And the owner, Korean Dave. They keep the TikTokers and the real heavy social media people to like the weekdays and the off nights, because they're going to sell tickets anyway, and the weekends are for the like comedians. Yeah.
And what's it like for when you also lead the classes at Comedy Connection, right? So just for everyone who's not familiar with it, Comedy Connection runs classes for aspiring comedians or people that just think they're funny and want to try their hand at stand-up, right? And so, I took one of these classes about 3 months ago.
Yeah.
And
you were great.
Thank you. I mean, I don't know about that.
No, I mean that. I wouldn't have said it if it wasn't true.
Yeah,
I'm not one to blow smoke.
That I know.
Yeah.
And so basically we would have a weekly cadence of getting together, trying new material, and Brian would, kind of bump us into the right direction and whatnot. You know? But when you run those classes, would you say half of the people want to be full-time comedians and are going to try and make it, and the other half are just, kind of people who want to give a shot at it? And for those people who want to really make a career and go of this, what do you tell them?
All right. I say that. I'd say out of the class, I think a lot of the people taking the class now are more so aspiring comedians. When I first started doing the class, and I always ask, like, why are you taking this class? Is it a bucket list thing? And I have people raise their hands. It's like most of the class would have raised their hands. Like, I want to try this out. Now it kind of flipped to where, like, maybe, it used to be like 30% of the class wanted to be comedians. Now it's like 50-60% of the class want to be comedians.
Yeah.
And then, like, there's always old women that come out. And I only say that because I always bust their balls.
Right.
Even though they don't have any.
Yeah.
Right. But they have but it's like an older group that'll come out, guys that are just retired, and they just need something to do. There were 2 women that they travel up to Rhode Island for the summer, and they live in Florida and travel up here for the summer. They took the class over the summer.
Yeah.
And that's why I said a couple old women, because I want to bust their balls.
Right.
'Cause it was fun.
Yeah. And
these are jokes. Dude. I don't mean it.
Dude, and even my class was super diverse in a way where it was people from all different parts of life.
Yeah.
And you don't often get that, right?
Yeah.
You go into a corporation or into wherever, and typically, it's not different age brackets and different stories and so forth.
Yeah, it was crazy. One of the craziest classes I ever had, there was like 2 16-year-old girls. There was like, there was this old biker guy, like this old lady, and it was as diverse as you get. And when the biker guy goes up, and it was like the second class, and he just starts talking like all this horrific stuff about bodily fluids and I like big, and I'm like, what are you doing?
Right. Yeah. And I'll tell you that actually,
and it's in front of these poor women.
And do you agree that, one of the things that I took away from it is, unless you're a really skilled comedian and you have some experience under your belt and you know what you're doing, politics and sex jokes are a little dangerous.
Yeah. Well, politics, I always say stay away from politics because it's a revolving door. There is no event that would happen. Like, if you watch every comedy special from the 90s, there's O.J. Simpson jokes. Like, the late 90s, early 2000s, you hear O.J. Simpson jokes or, like, Nancy Kerrigan jokes. And because when a news story happened back then, it happened for months at a time.
Right.
It had to play out. Now it's like you have, like, a big thing happen, and then the next week, people are going to forget about it.
Right.
Nobody remembers the Coldplay concert anymore.
Right. And that was just like a month ago.
That was a month ago, and it's gone. It's gone. So stay away from that stuff, especially because now it's like the world is so divided.
Right.
It doesn't matter if you're red, blue, black, white. Everybody just wants to come out and laugh. So why say something that's going to divide that?
Right. You're going to cut off 50% of the people right off the bat, And then it's and then sex too is like, unless you really get something that's not going to be offensive to women and isn't like going to be like overly crude and disgusting. And some comedians can land those jokes, but for a kid walking into your class, typically you should stay away from it.
No,
right?
there's Yeah, sex jokes are easy. It's easy to be a dirty comic. I hosted a show called The Hardcore Show for over 10 years.
Oh gosh.
And you've
heard it all.
Yeah, it's like we've heard it all, we've done it all.
Right.
And that was actually a show that kind of really helped me out in my career because it was every Friday night I was at the Connection.
Yeah.
And then like you asked before, like, was it the hot spot when I started out? No. And it was like when we started doing this hardcore show and started to focus on all the local Rhode Island comics, like that's when the Rhode Island really started to get going and like really started to become the epicenter and the place to be for comics. You know, so like it was always a place to be for people, but for comics, it's like once it left Boston and came to Rhode Island, it's like now we can focus on Rhode Island comics, and that's what the owner did until he lost the club. And then now that Korean Dave has it, you know, they just
when did Korean
kept that
Dave
going.
come in?
Probably about 12 years ago now. I think.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
And so, but just going back to the class for a second, when you get a 25, 26-year-old gentleman or lady, they say they want this to be their career and they want to be a comedian. What's the advice? You know, is it, you know, be careful what you wish for?
No, I say do comedy because you love it, right? If you love it, do it because you love it, not to have it be a career.
Yeah.
Like, especially when you're so early on. And that's really easy for people to grasp because they're so new. They're like, oh, yeah, that does make sense right now.
Yeah.
You know, like, yeah, it's like, just do it because you love it, right? You love doing it. And they go, yeah. And it's like, all right, good. Now, don't ask for any paid work for 7 years.
Yeah.
If you get paid work within that time, awesome. Don't ask for paid work in that time.
Right.
Let the paid work come to you. If after 7 years you're getting enough paid work to be like, hey, I think I can pursue this, then pursue it. If not, just keep doing it because you love it.
Yeah.
Don't chase that because yeah, it can happen overnight, but the odds of that happening are so astronomical.
Right.
You know, you have a better shot of throwing a baseball from the moon and hitting your house. Because you can mathematically figure that out.
Right.
You know, you can literally, that is an easier thing to do than maneuvering your way through comedy when you know nothing about it. And that's another thing. And that's another thing I put a little emphasis on now, especially moving forward since the classes you've had. And I think a little bit during your class where it's like, just do this thing. Don't be delusional. Right. You know, just do it because you love it. Not like, don't make it a career yet. You don't know what you're doing. Right.
Yeah.
Like, learn it before you do it.
And so comedians who come through the Connection, aside from the headliners, might be going, you know, to Fall River and then go down to Hartford, and they work clubs like along I guess on a tour. Is that how it typically works?
I guess regionally, you know, like it's a lot of people that work regionally. Yeah. And we try to get as many different comics in to host and close and, you know, close the showcases, because the showcases that we have, it's a lot of local guys that'll close it out. Yeah. So it's like we try to get that rotation going, but there's so many comics that it's hard. Yeah. You know, and then once I start breaking down the numbers to people, that's when their eyes open up and they're like, oh, wow, okay, you know?
Yeah. And if a comedian's at let's just say they're at a club in Fall River, and I don't even know if there is a comedy club in Fall River.
There are 0 comedy clubs in Fall River. There's, There's 30 comedy clubs in Fall River. The road to comedy goes through Fall River. You need to get on a boat, and you have to go to the Fall River.
That's the first advice you give everyone.
And you wash your body in the Fall River.
The first advice Brian gives everyone in the comedy classes: you got to go to Fall River.
You got to go wash your body in the Fall River in summertime because it's too cold in winter.
Yeah. So the mythical Fall River Comedy Club, say it has 150 seats, a comedian fills it. How does that comedian get compensated? Like, is it a function of how many tickets they sell? Or
it all depends on the comic and the venue and the agreement. It really all depends. Yeah. Like it's
like a case by case.
Yeah, there's no definite answer to that.
Yeah. And but the point, I guess, to make it a career on the road, that's a tough life, you know? It's
yeah.
a grind.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's no, it's that's the thing. Like, I don't think anybody ever realizes how hard it is. You know, like, so just at the Connection, guy off the street takes the comedy class. I know I touched the wire, and it was funny. You said, like, I bought all this stuff. It's brand new. And then I nudged the wire with my thumb again just to show you, and you freaked out.
I think it's on. Oh, you're still good.
Okay, good.
I got the little, I can see
all right,
the
good.
little
It's
things.
moving.
Yeah.
Okay. I forgot what I was saying.
Oh, we were talking about
The numbers!
The numbers.
All right.
Numbers.
So at the Connection, guy comes in, takes the class, says, I'm going to make this a career.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, you want to host at the Connection. That means last year there were 35 weekends that I booked as a host.
Yeah.
Right? Because some of the weekends they're closed. Sometimes headliners will bring in their own support. Sometimes they only want a 2-person show.
Yeah.
So out of the hosting spots that I booked, there was only 35 of them, and there was 31 different comedians that did that spot.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so that's 31 out of 35 spots.
Right.
Now, out of those 31 people, you need to realize there's another 130 people that I booked throughout the year.
Yeah.
So you have to like be as good as the top whatever percent that is. What is it? Top 20% out of 130 people, you have to be better than 100 of them.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. And that's statistics, and everyone in that room typically.
And those
is
are just
funny.
the comics that I booked at the Connect. There's more comics that I haven't booked at the Connection that are out there.
Yeah.
So if the market is there's 130 comics trying to get a hosting spot at this club.
Yeah.
Now take the Comedy Connection. Now you look at Mohegan Sun. Then you look at the comedy club, the Hartford Funny Bone.
Yeah.
Then you look at headliners in New Hampshire. And it's like, there's got to be just the same amount of comics trying to get in those clubs.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, no, for sure.
And so you really have to be good to advance. And then even after you get that good, you still look at your career. Like, there are still times I look at my career and I'm like, man, what I gotta keep going. I got like,
right.
you know, like I can be better than this.
Yeah.
You know?
And going back to that for a second, you know, if you ask someone what they did in 2013, who knows, right? Like, you can't really remember by years. But I feel like there are data points or inflection points in people's careers. And if you could think back to like a few moments where you thought, oh, this was a big moment for me because it opened up X, Y opportunity, or this was a big night for me because I had 1,000 people in the audience or whatever. Like, do you have any, like, are there any,
like the big, like the Mount Rushmore of shows, so to speak, like the memorable
things.
moments?
Yeah.
Memorable moments.
Memorable moments. Brian Beaudoin.
Here we go. Memorable moments.
Maybe that's what I'll name the podcast. Memorable moments.
One, when I won the Last Comic Standing competition.
Okay.
At Mohegan Sun. That was a moment I'll never forget on stage.
How many people are competing for that?
There was over 100.
Wow.
And
what year was that?
I think it was 2010.
Okay. Yeah.
It was a while ago. It was a real long time ago.
Yeah.
Like, I almost need to enter the contest again.
Yeah.
To like
Cement it,
re-up. Yeah,
right.
like I just need to like cement that.
Right.
That what do you call it?
That
credit.
Credit.
The credit. I
Yeah.
need to up my credit.
Yeah.
Anyway,
talk to me about the moment though.
well, it wasn't the moment. It was leading up to that. I had won Best Comic in Rhode Island. I was named Best Comic in Rhode Island, but it was like one of those reader polls.
Right.
So I had nothing to do with comedy.
Yeah.
Right? Nothing to do at all with comedy. But I stood firm, and I was almost like a heel wrestler on Facebook. And I'm like, I go, yeah, no, I'll prove I'm the best. Like, come at me, bro. Right? Yeah. And at that time, I was hosting the hardcore show, and I was just doing a bunch of stuff in Rhode Island, and I was just, and it felt good. But a lot of people were like, no, it's a popularity contest. And I go, all right, fine. I'm gonna go enter this thing. if you want, like, here's the application. I put in all the comedian groups that I put on Facebook. Hey, comics, sign up for this. Come beat me.
Yeah.
And not only did I win the contest, but I did a different set every single round.
Oh, wow. So how many rounds were there?
4.
Okay. Oh,
wow. So I did like a 5-minute set, 2 different 7-minute sets, a different 10-minute set, and then a different, I think it was 20 minutes for the final.
Oh, wow.
So it was like over an hour of material spread out throughout this contest.
Yeah.
And it was one of the things that had me win the contest was that the judges were like, wait a minute, Brian advanced every single round and did a different set every single round. Yeah. The guy he beat did the same set and just added 2 minutes and then 3 minutes and then 10 minutes. Like, Brian's the real deal. And that's what made me feel so good about it.
Yeah.
You know?
And the moment, though, were 3 you finalists kind of thing, and then they voted and called your name?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So the 3 of us were up on stage, like 3 goofs.
Yeah.
You know, they call third place and then they call the winner, and it was me.
That's awesome,
it was nice.
Dude. What came after that? Did you get more eyeballs on you?
Well, yeah, that's what got me into Mohegan, and I do a lot of work with Comics Roadhouse at Mohegan now.
Okay.
You know, at the time they were at Foxwoods, but you know they're at Mohegan now, and I do a bi-monthly show there every other Thursday at 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
I have a show. I host the contest now every year that they have it for a bunch of dates. And I do a lot of work with them.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so you've been working with them since 2010 now.
Yeah.
Awesome. And then you got plugged into the Comedy Connection here just through meeting Korean Dave.
No.
Oh,
that was me busting my ass to get into a club, you know, and it was run out of Boston. I'm doing the bringer shows and it's like I'm supplying the crowd because nobody else is bringing people,
right?
You know, I'm like damn, okay, whatever. But this kind of sucks, you know. But it was like I went through those pains, and the guy that hosted that open mic actually ended up buying the club.
Oh, really?
Yeah, when it got shifted from Boston to Rhode Island, the guy that was hosting that open mic is the same guy that bought the club. So he bought this thing, and he's like, oh man, I want you to come do the show. And when he bought it, I'm like, hey, let me help you rip down the stuff and paint stuff, you know, just so we can get in there and I can meet him. And he was the guy that booked me to host the hardcore show.
Oh, okay.
And then when he lost the club and it was in limbo, we didn't know what was going to happen until Korean Dave came in on his magical boat.
From Fall River.
Yeah, he flies on a boat. It's a flying boat.
Yeah.
You've never seen anything like it. And Korean Dave bought it. They're like, we want to keep the hardcore show going. I'm like, perfect. Let's do it. Yeah. And then I had more control over that show and booking that show. And then based off of how I booked that, they let me book some other stuff. Yeah. And then it just kind of shifted to like after COVID, you know, I called them and I'm like, do you want me to start booking shows again? And, you know, they're like, yeah, what do you want to do for dates? And I'm like, what if you just like pay me and I'll just do it? Like whatever you need, I'll just do. Yeah. You know, and they're like, all right, yeah. And that's how I became talent coordinator.
Would you say we are in a golden age of stand-up comedy right now, or is it, you know, does it come in cycles and ever since COVID it's been more popular, or has it always been what it is?
I don't know. I mean, when you say like the golden age, nothing's going to beat 80s, 90s comedy. Nothing's going to beat that. You know,
like
when you
Carlin
when you can just put on a flyer comedy show and it's going to sell out because, you know, like, because back then there was less comics, right? So the comics that were on the shows were good. Yeah. They were really good. They had to be good, you know, because everybody else just kind of fizzled away. Right. Because there wasn't the internet now, because the internet can help comics a lot more than not having it back in the day. You know? You know, like my open mic tonight, I host an open mic at Smithfield in the place called the Downstairs in Smithfield. Yeah. And an open mic for everybody is just, it's like karaoke, but with comedy. Right. You know, you can just show up, you sign up, and you go do a spot. Yeah. And
how many folks will you get typically on a night up there?
It averages about between 15 and 20.
Okay.
You know, so
doing 5-minute sets.
it all depends on how many comics sign up. I said
Yeah.
the show's going to be 2 hours at the most. I'm
Smart.
not there all night because that's what happens.
Right.
That's what happens because like now then like we could get into this whole thing.
Yeah.
But like you have this list and you're like, all right, we got 10 people. If they all do 10 minutes, that's 100 minutes. We can be out of here in 2 hours.
Yeah.
You know, and then like 2 people will show up and then that adds 20 minutes to the night. And then somebody else shows up and it's
Right.
like, so I try to take the amount of comics that sign up, divide that time out, and everybody gets the same amount of time. They get what they get. And I usually find the less time, the better at an open mic.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Not to say that those comedians...
They're not funny or
anything.
anything.
Yeah. It's not like the comedians are bad.
Yeah.
I would have these comedians do 15, 20 minutes on some of the shows that I do.
Yeah.
But in an open mic setting, it's just so brutal.
Right.
You know, there's really no crowd. There's no... The whole crowd is looking in their notebooks because they're other comedians.
So it's not like a super supportive
It's not a real
environment.
show.
Right.
Yeah, it's not a real show. You go to an open mic to hear yourself get the thoughts out.
Right. Yeah. And how often is it that you see someone at an open mic speak or, perform and you think, wow, that person has something?
More often than you think.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The problem is people can have something in spurts of like 3 minutes.
Right.
But when it comes time to book a show
Yeah.
and the other 7 minutes isn't good, it's like that 3 minutes can be brilliant. It can be the most brilliant joke somebody's ever heard. But if you can't back it up with the other 7,
Yeah.
it's going to be like, all right, now we got to wait. So there's a lot of times when like my head will pop up or I'll laugh at some stuff.
Yeah.
But it's like and even the comics doing the jokes know like, oh yeah, I can't do a half hour yet, but that's a good joke.
Yeah.
You know?
And it like the audience, it's a lot about how you make the audience feel too. Right.
Yeah.
Like, are they comfortable and having fun, or are they just kind of like watching 3 minutes of laughter and then 4 minutes of, oh God, this is rough. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So and in your opinion, are comedians, successful comedians, the rub on them is that they've got some damage, right? That there's something happened in their life that makes them great. Whether it's a dark side or whatever. Could explore that with me a little bit. Have you found it to be true, like that there is an overlap between drugs and alcohol abuse and comedians, or depression and comedians? And
I think everybody's broken, right? Everybody has a story.
I'm with you.
Everybody has a story.
Yeah.
I think comedians are just able to either suppress that and be able to get the jokes out, or they're able to embrace that and able to get the jokes out.
Yeah.
The lady, the lady that walked me to your office today,
Yeah.
doesn't, she could have all the same stuff that a comedian could have, but she's behind a desk all day.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
a comedian's job to be open and honest and get these bits out and tell these stories. And so I think maybe, there's a lot of people that might fall into the drugs or have mental disorders or whatever, but I think that it's like that with every workplace, I think I think because of the nature of this workplace, there's a little more of it.
Right. Cause like you might be working all night long.
Yeah.
Right. And might be in the Lower East Side of Manhattan.
Yeah.
And you're just around it much more often than versus if you're working at a car dealership from 9 to 5.
Yeah, man. It's like you've had that rush when you get off stage.
Dude.
It's like, how do you chase it? What do you do
Right.
at 10 o'clock at night when you want that rush again?
That's a really good point.
That's where the drugs come into play.
Yeah.
That's why I got into drugs. It's like I was chasing this rush because it's something that I can only get on stage. And it's like I need something else. And so it'd be like alcohol, drugs, everything else.
Right. Have you ever, I'm sure you have, but what's it like to bomb and really bomb?
I think it all depends on the bomb, really.
Yeah.
This is going to sound so egotistical.
Give it to me.
It's like I've been doing this long enough And it's like, even though I'm not famous, even though people don't like know me, it's like, I've been doing this long enough to where if I'm on a show, I'm going to be good.
Right.
Right? Like, I'm going to be good. Like, even if the crowd hates me, I'm going to find out a way to get laughs.
Right.
The bombs that suck, the ones that really fucking suck, is when you're hired to do a thing, right? Like a dinner party.
Yeah.
You know, like, or like a lawyer's office is having their Christmas party and they want a comedian.
Yeah.
You know, or it's like a bar just throwing on a show, but they want all the regulars to stay. And you have people watching the show that aren't invested in the show.
Yeah.
And they don't care what I have to say.
Right.
You know, so they tune out or they talk. And it's like, comedy becomes like, that's like, it, like, number one, it hurts because it's like, at the end, it's like these people come up and they're like, yeah, tough crowd. And it's like,
Right.
you didn't even care you weren't even paying attention. It's one thing
Right.
it's one thing if you're paying attention and the jokes
you're
aren't
not
coming up and
laughing,
it's a tough crowd.
Right.
Like when I go to Cambridge, that is a tough crowd for me. They're smart Hartford kids.
Right.
That I have to, and I have a lot of poo-poo jokes, a lot of pee jokes.
Yep.
You know, like I say it on stage. I don't have jokes. I just say
Right.
funny things and hope for
Yeah.
the best. You know, so when I'm in Cambridge, I have to change that and twist it.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean they're a tough crowd.
Right.
You know, but yeah, it's like, it's almost so. I guess like bombing is far and between.
Right.
And if there is like a bomb, it's usually like because of a thing.
Yeah.
Like I've said stuff that'll turn the crowd off.
Right.
You know, like I've bombed a joke, but I can't think, like I'm trying to think of a time where I just bombed a set.
Yeah.
And the only time that really happened, like I bombed a set.
Yeah.
Like this was true. Like this is like textbook. Like this is bomb. Like this is bombing. You know, like man. Oh, this like I really want the audience to know there's a difference between like you go out and do a show and it sucks because the crowd wasn't paying attention, and then like I was opening up for Bobby Collins one night. Do you know who Bobby Collins is?
I don't.
All right, he used to host VH1 Stand Up Spotlight.
Okay.
Okay. If you Google that show, you will see exactly how long I've wanted to be a comedian.
Okay.
Because I used to watch that show all the time, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I love this guy. He's awesome. And then he came to the Connection. It was years ago. And the owner goes, hey, can you open up for Bobby Collins tonight? And I'm like, oh. I'm like, yes.
Bucket list.
I'm like, I love Bobby Collins. He's like, really? I go, oh, yeah. I'm like, he's one of my favorite comedians. I'm like, I love Bobby Collins. And it's weird because when you ask other comics who their favorite comics are, I can guarantee you none of them say Bobby Collins.
Yeah.
Right? And so even when I say that to other comics, they're all like, what? Bobby Collins?
Yeah.
And so now the thing with Bobby Collins is you got to remember he hosted VH1 Stand Up Spotlight in the 90s. So his crowd is old, so old,
Right.
You know? And so when I go out there and I'm doing my stuff, it's like, I am not for this crowd.
Right.
And this crowd was so much the opposite of what I was at the time.
Right.
That there was nothing I could say to get him back. And I guess I was even kind of new at the time because I didn't even know what to do to pull him back in.
Right.
I just kept doing my set. And at one point I'm like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
And I came off stage, and then when I brought Bobby up, even Bobby said like, man, you guys should have given Brian a chance. Right? Like, yeah, like even he acknowledged it. He goes, let me tell you, it wasn't him.
That's gonna feel good though, from like someone you admire.
Yeah.
Right.
And then and this is a recent bomb.
Yeah.
I was opening up for Pete Corielli while he was hosting recording his special at the Connection.
Okay.
And so it's a 2-man show. Cameras everywhere. Friday night, 8:00, first show, boom. And I've worked with Pete before, and the second I came off stage, it's like, Pete, they're great. Here's this, here's that, right?
Yeah.
Told him everything he needed to know before he goes out. And then the second show, I just ate it. I ate it, and it was like another thing. Like And now I know what I'm doing on stage. Now there's no,
Right.
like, I know what I'm doing. And I'm pulling out all the stops, everything,
Right.
everything. And then they're just like not paying attention. And and all comedians will say, whenever you have comedians on, always just say, like, if you bomb, do you blame the crowd or yourself? And see how many comedians, they'll all say themselves.
Yeah.
This was the crowd.
Yeah. I bet.
Right. This was 100% the crowd.
Yeah.
And it's like, there are times when, like, yeah, you blame yourself, but this was the crowd. I came off stage and I went to Pete and I'm like, they're dead, dude. I'm like, they're dead. They're tired. They're really tired.
Yeah.
Right. And he's like, okay. And then I went to Pete's agent, his manager, and I'm like, I'm sorry. That was bad. That was really bad. And then they're like, no, don't worry about it. Then the next day I went in, and this is how you know it was a bad bomb.
Yeah.
His agent comes up to me. He goes, Brian, he goes, I want to apologize, man. He goes, last night, that 10 o'clock show, he's like, we thought you just sucked. He goes, the owners came up to us, and they even said, like, they've never seen you not be able to pull a crowd like that. And then when Pete was up there, like, even Pete said the same thing when he got off. So
that the crowd was just dragging.
like, so we're sorry. And I'm like, I'm like, you apologizing for all the shit you talk behind my back? Well, I wasn't
with
here
the owners and with Pete.
And it's like, I'm like, clearly it was conversations about me. And he goes, oh yeah. I'm like, okay.
We haven't shut up about it.
Oh, great. Yeah. Excellent. Cool.
Yeah. But from those moments, you must learn a lot. But before you go up there, are you still nervous, or are you like? And do you have the whole thing memorized, or do you just kind of have like a rough idea where you're going?
Okay. Nervous, no. Anxious, yes.
Yeah.
Right. I give you the anxious versus nervous.
Oh yeah.
Right. Is nervous and anxiousness is the same emotion. It's just how you present it to yourself. You're nervous to do something, you're scared to do it, so you're nervous about it. Something you don't want to do, you're scared. But it's like, dude, this place is sold out. There's cameras. It's like they're gonna be recording me, and these people came here like ready for a show. It sold out weeks ago.
Yeah,
like I'm ready to go up there. This is gonna be a slam dunk, And it was, except for that 10 o'clock Friday show,
right?
Yeah. So that's how I get anxious when I go up. I get excited.
Right. Yeah.
I'm ready to go up. And then what was the other question?
The other question was, do you memorize all your sets, or do you just kind of have like a roadmap of where you're going? Like, dude,
there's no map. There's memorization because you have to remember the beats that get the laughs.
Yeah.
But whatever set I do on any night, I've never had the same set twice. Like I've done the same jokes, but I've never had the same exact set.
Yeah.
Like if you go see me tonight, it's going to be different than what I do tomorrow, and that's going to be different than what I do on the weekend.
Yeah.
And all those shows. Again, like we're talking about Mount Rushmore moments.
Yeah.
I was in St. Louis doing the Funny Bone there. I was headlining the Funny Bone in St. Louis, and it was my second time there. And after the first, they do Thursday, Friday, and then Saturday. Both of the bouncers came in the green room. And they're like, hey, man, do you need anything? And I'm like, no. And they're like, we just wanted to say. And I'm
just imagining these two huge guys.
Yeah, it was like there's one skinny dude and one big one.
Yeah.
They look like the number 10. And they go, dude, we just want to say, man, like, we worked Thursday and last night, and you did a different set for every show. Yeah. And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, thank you. Like, they're like, you have no idea, man. Like, people come in and they're here for the weekend, and it's the same set. And it's just like, and then they come back the next year, and it's like the same set. They're like, we remember when you were here last year, and that was different than this time.
Right.
And I'm like, thank you very much. And it was like, like I will remember that appreciation of them, of me just talking.
Oh, for sure.
That's all I do. I just talk, and then it goes in its own way.
Yeah. And just even like the stickers thing that you were telling us about, right? Where, you're just trying things out, and you'll, eventually find something. But see, for me, when I did that graduation show, dude, not only did I memorize every word, but like I memorized every comma, right? And because I thought like timing was important. But one of the funniest moments in my set, because I had it recorded, where I got the most laughs, was where I forgot what I was going to say, right?
Yeah,
You
because
remember?
it's
And I was like,
natural.
where am I? You know? And
Yeah.
then I hit it, and people were loving it, you know? Which
It's funny because people listening now might not know you're talking about the bit when you're like, oh,
it's part of the
Pat
bit.
hit his on the chair.
Yeah,
He adjusted
exactly.
himself and sat on a nut and it disappeared.
Yeah. But, and I do think, though, that speaks to the importance of being truly authentic when you're up there, dude, right? Like, if you get up there and you try and be Louis C.K., then it's not going to resonate with them.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, no, I just go up and have fun.
Yeah.
And that's the key to the key to comedy is to take a thing that you've said a billion times and make it sound like it's the first time you've ever said it.
Right.
And it's like when I first started out, I would memorize things word for word too.
Yeah.
You know, but you evolve and you grow, and it's like I can't memorize an hour now. That's so much.
Right.
You know, but it's like I can memorize these bits and then go on autopilot when I'm up there.
Yeah. How would you say in general, and I know we got to wrap up soon, but in general, how is the comedy scene in Rhode Island stack up against other places?
I think it stacks up nicely.
I
I think if it was a Big Mac,
yeah.
it would be the
Yeah.
meat.
It would
It
not,
would be
not the pickles.
not the pickles,
Not the mystery
not the
sauce.
sauce.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
It would be the meat.
Right, yeah. Because dude, I feel like we got some juice going through the comedy connection for like a small town, you know? Like there's some real...
Yeah, man. It's like, because in Rhode Island, you got to compete with Boston. You got to
Right.
compete with Connecticut. We're sandwiched right in the middle.
Right.
You know, you got New York 3 hours away.
Yeah.
And it's just... And one thing that I always loved when I hosted the hardcore show
Yeah.
was how honest the crowd kept you.
Right.
Like Rhode Island crowds keep you honest, man. Like if it's
Yeah.
funny, they're going to laugh. If it sucks, they will tell you it sucks. Not by not laughing. They'll literally call out the joke.
Right.
And just be like, that ain't true. We have X, Y, and Z.
Right.
And it's like,
Yeah.
you're right.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like I've watched like really, really brilliant, successful comedians come through that hardcore show.
Yeah.
And it's like, I just watched this, like, I'll watch somebody rip for an hour and then they get on that hardcore show and they're struggling
Right.
because the crowd is so, like, honest.
Yeah.
And you got to be versatile to do that show. And it's like, these comics come off and they're like, that was good. Like, that was challenging. Like,
Right.
that was fun.
Yeah.
You know? And so yeah, I think you got to be tough to be a comic in Rhode Island.
Right.
Especially when you have somebody like me running around calling you out on shit.
Exactly.
You know?
Well, I feel like there's a lot of funny people in New England. I
Yeah.
know that's like kind of a weird thing to say, but it does seem like a lot of funny people come out of Boston and Rhode Island. Like, dude, like how many guys did you grow up with that were just hilarious, you know?
Oh,
And
yeah.
I'm not sure that's across the board. You know?
Oh yeah, dude. The funniest person that I know is Dave, one of the owners of the Connection.
Oh, really?
He is just one of the funniest people I've ever met.
Is he a comedian or is
he's
he...
not a comedian?
Yeah.
He bought the club. But just the things that he says, and it's like he makes me laugh the hardest out of anybody, I think,
Yeah.
in the universe.
That's amazing,
Yeah.
though. You know.
Yeah.
And did they extend the club? Like, did they add another location or?
They did. So now it's the Comedy Connection and the Uptown Theater, which used to be
where
the
is
Columbus Theater.
Okay. Is that
And-
downtown or?
I guess no, it's not downtown. This is downtown.
Yeah.
No, it's up near the hill.
Oh,
I guess
gotcha.
Federal.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I actually went there a couple weeks ago. They had a band that I like.
Oh, really?
Which is a great perk for
Yeah.
working at a place that also books music now.
For
It's
sure.
like, hey, man, I really like this band. Can you book them?
Yeah.
Just book this band.
Do you do music as well?
No, I don't do any music. I just
Yeah.
listen to it.
Yeah.
And I just
And
take
vibe
edibles
out.
and listen to it.
I mean-
and And it was but they redid everything. All new chairs, all new ceilings, all paint, new walls, new everything.
Yeah.
It's beautiful in there. I can't wait to perform there.
Oh, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And that what did it go bankrupt, the previous owner? Or
I don't know what happened with them.
Yeah. Well, and you have a son, right?
Yeah, he's 14.
Is he a comedian?
No, he's a Pokemon trainer.
Oh, God.
He's into Pokemon. He is a competitive Pokemon player.
Yeah.
He goes to tournaments.
Yeah.
And it's like I go to I thought like the Pokemon community was like soccer dads and soccer moms.
Right.
Like I was gonna show up and hang out with like other dads and other moms and just be like, hey, look at our kids playing Pokemon.
Right.
And it's just me. Because all the other dads play, and so it's like when I first started going, I bring a sign, go Trenton, and now it's like I play it cool, hang back, and just hear how he does when he gets home.
I love it too.
I hope one day he makes it to the Pokemon Worlds. I want to say that on air.
There you go. Give you a lot of material on stage.
Oh yeah.
Well, dude, thanks so much for doing
Thanks
this.
for having me.
No, are you kidding
This
me?
was great. I could do this all day.
Well, then I'm gonna. If you're ever willing to come back, we'll do it again.
Absolutely.
Dude. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, dude. Thank you.
All right. We got to get the handshake.
Yeah.
out
Did we get the handshake?
There you go.